Hi everyone, welcome to your pick a card reading. Today's reading is about what do you need to hear right now. The general purpose of this reading is to just get a broad overview of your current situation. There are 3 piles to choose from: pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. You choose. See you in the readings. Bye. Hi pile number 1, welcome to your reading. Let's just see what we've got for you. Just going to get some tarot cards ready. Okay, so pile number 1, you chose the Dragon Key, and we're talking about what you need to hear right now. Wow, well, we've got the word truth. You need to hear the truth over something. That's, really straight up there, isn't it? The truth. You've got the Mirror, Ascension. Wow, okay. The Mirror, Ascension and Truth. Rejection. Wow. And Passion. Wow. Okay, so pile 1, we are trying, I think at the moment what's going on in your world is you are seeking the truth over something. You've had a rejection over something. You thought you were moving forward with something that's going on within your world, and you were passionate about something here, but there's been a rejection of some sort. Now, whatever that is in your world, it's a general reading, obviously, and we're trying to see what's going on, an overview of what's going on within your world. Well, for pile 1, I would say that you are seeking the truth over something. You're trying to find out why you've been rejected in something. You've put your whole heart into this thing, whatever it is. You've studied really hard with that Ascension card. You've found a lot of passion within this thing, though, whatever it is that's in your world, what's going on in your world. But I think there's been a rejection here over something, and you want to know why. That's what you're after. You're after the answers as to why. The purpose of this reading today is an overview of what's going on within your world, what you need to hear right now. Well, right now, you need to hear the truth over something. You need to understand why you've been rejected in some area of your life, whatever that is. Let's just see if I can get anything with the tarot cards to enlighten us a little bit more. Wait a minute. Yeah, they're all in reverse. When that happens, it's because I've shuffled the cards the wrong way around. It's as simple as that. Okay, well, you've got that 7 of Pentacles, which is patience. Perhaps you have had a lot of patience waiting for the answers on something, waiting for the truth to come out over something. You've really perhaps tried to curb your passion on something here, because you've been waiting patiently for the answers to something. You want to know the truth of something. There's been a rejection here, and you're patiently waiting to see what the answers and the reasons why before you can move forward with your next plan. That Ascension card tells me you want to move forward with your next plan, but you're waiting to hear the truth of a rejection here before you can move on from this, whatever it is that's going on in your world. Silence. Well, that's silence. That's the Star card. And you've had dreams, you've had wishes, and you've had hopes and things like that within this situation here. And they've been dashed. You've been rejected. And because of that, you want to know why. And you may be even following this through with a passion, wanting to know why. The Mirror, let me just see, the Mirror here is, in this instance, you wanted people to reflect to you within the mirror, to stand up and be counted within your world and tell you the truth of something. You know, mirrors, when you think of a mirror, it reflects back something, doesn't it? It reflects the truth of a situation maybe, and this is what this reading for pile 1 is all about, getting to the truth of something because you've been rejected in some way over something in your world. Comparison. Right. Now, when you're rejected, over something, no matter what that is, you can't help but compare, can you? You think to yourself, well, why have I been rejected and that other person hasn't? Or why have they turned me down, but they've given, say it was a job, why have they turned me down for a job, but they're giving the job to someone else and they might not even be as qualified as you? So you're comparing reasons. You're comparing reasons as to why you've been rejected. And you want to know the truth of a situation before you can move forward. That's what this is all about for pile 1. This is what the reading's about for pile 1. General purpose of this reading is an overview of what's going on in your world right now and what you need to hear right now. You need to hear the truth of a situation. You need to know why there's been a rejection. And I don't think you're going to rest until you do know why there's been a rejection here, because that passion is the passion you're putting into this. That's the passion you're putting into this seeking of the truth over a situation. Wow. Well, I've just said you're not going to let this go. You're certainly not. That's the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is full of passion, full of forceful energy and wanting to know and not moving further until they get their answers. So maybe your patience has ran out a bit here. Maybe you've been patient over something, because it's crossing patience. But the Queen of Wands, when the Queen of Wands energy comes into a reading, patience may be running out on something here because you haven't learned the truth of a situation yet. But I don't think you're going to give up, pile 1. Wow. Now that 9 of Pentacles, and it's crossing the hopes, dreams and wishes card, because that's the star card. That 9 of Pentacles is, you know what you're worth and you know what you're capable of. And that is why when you go for something or you achieve something within your world, it's because you know who you are. You're a very strong person. So that makes it even more imperative in your world that the truth comes out as to why you've been rejected over something. The Queen of Wands and that 9 of Pentacles, those two energies are so powerful because they're telling me that whoever you are, you know your worth, you know who you are, you're full of confidence over a situation, and that is why you really can't understand why you've been rejected. Now the star card in this reading, in this pack of cards, the star card is called silence. It may be that's another why you're so passionate about something, because it's all gone silent over this situation. You can't move on because you need to know the answers. It's gone silent maybe, and because it's gone silent, that's making you more determined to find out the truth of a situation here. Wow. The 3 lower cards here are all energies of real determination, is what I want to say. You know who you are. You know your mindset. Your mindset is resolute over something. You want to know why you haven't learned the truth of a situation. You want to know why you've been rejected. Rejection is here, right there. And you want the truth to come out as to why. You may be feeling victimized in some way. The comparison card may be saying to you, there's discrimination going on here. Why am I being discriminated against? You really have got this idea in your mind because the truth needs to come out over a situation within your world where you've been rejected in something and you can't understand why, because you've got everything you needed to, if I'm going to compare it again to a job interview, you've got everything you needed and more qualifications than you needed to do this job, but you've been rejected. And that's something that's just came out as I say in it. I'm thinking perhaps you were overqualified for the job. If we're talking about a job, perhaps you were overqualified and that's why you were rejected. But even if that was the case, whatever you've been rejected in, your goal, your quest at the moment, the purpose for this reading is for you. Your general aspect of what's going on here is you just want to know the truth. You want to know why you've been rejected and not everything just left silent. You know, they just reject you and then they don't say any more. You need to know the truth so that you can ascend to the next level. Maybe ascend in more qualifications needed. Maybe going for a different job where your qualifications are an asset to that job because you're more qualified for it. There's a reason here why you're not moving on at the moment, and that is because you want to know the truth as to why you've been rejected over something. And I hope I'm making sense there. I think I'm just going to take one more card just to finish this little reading off, and I'm going to take, let's just see what I can get. I think I'm going to take another one of, I can't make my mind up. You see, that's another thing, isn't it? I can't make my mind up, so why can't I make my mind up? Because I can't move on until I know the truth of a situation. You can't understand why it's all gone silent, maybe. You can't understand why they just can't tell you properly as to why. Whatever the situation here is, you are more than qualified for whatever it is that you were seeking the truth over. And that is why, in this instance, that is why you are so determined, so passionate about finding out the reason why you've been rejected, pile one. Prosperity. Well, that prosperity card there is how you will be able to proceed once you found the truth of this. It will make you feel better in as much as if it was a job interview and say you were overqualified. If they just told you that, for instance, I'm just saying a for instance, then the prosperity here would be you looking for a job where you have, you know, a higher job because you're more qualified than the job you went for maybe. The prosperity is you finding out the truth so that you can ascend to the next level of whatever it is that you want to do within your world. I hope that helps pile one. But yes, pile one is all about the truth. Bye. Hi pile two, welcome to your reading. The purpose of this reading is to see what is generally going on around you, you know, and what you need to hear right now really. Now you've got that word onion. To know your onions is an informal phrase to know your subject or job well. So that's what I'm going to go by. Something to do with you know your subject or job well, or you need to know your subject or job well before you can go further with whatever it is you're thinking of doing. So let me just see what other cards we've got. Oh, we've got the comic, right? The comic, give yourself a break. Gratitude and truth. Wow. Okay, so we've got that word onion, and that word onion is about peeling back the layers. That's what I want to say when I say it, when I look at that now. Peeling back the layers of something that's going on within your world. We've got that card, comic. Now it may be that you are a person who doesn't show who you really are. You put on this attitude of being the comedian in the room sort of thing. That card, give yourself a break. It might be saying give yourself a break from this pretense of whatever the situation in, pretending that everything's wonderful when it's not maybe. Truth comes into the mix here when I'm saying that. Look at the truth of a situation, or perhaps it's time to shed a light on something. Show the truth in a situation instead of, you know, being the comic, not actually letting the real truth out of something. You know, comedians have this, you know, comedians, a lot of comedians, they're hiding behind a form of depression, and it comes out, they can make everybody else laugh kind of thing, but when it comes to their own personal life, it may be that they're going through quite a lot of other things that they don't necessarily show. I mean, when they're on stage, they're acting as another person, and that onion, I'm saying peeling back the layers of something. Knowing your subject well or your job well is another phrase, isn't it? Know your onions. Peeling back the layers. Perhaps you are very well versed with hiding whatever it is that's going on within your world. The cards are saying give yourself a break on something here. The truth here is something that perhaps you need to see the truth of a situation. That is, gratitude is related to the crown chakra, and it's the highest vibration. It's who you are as a person. It's your purpose and your wisdom. Perhaps you're being, instead of just being grateful for the things you have, it's what's coming to mind now as I'm saying these cards, instead of being just grateful for the things you have, perhaps it's about give yourself a break and get to the truth of something here. Perhaps you're keeping yourself, dimming your own light in order to help a situation within your world. Let's just see if I can get some cards to see if I can make myself a little bit more clearer on this. But that's what I'm picking up at the moment. Peeling back the layers of something, and the comic is like putting on one aspect in front of people, but really there's something else going on underneath the layers of a situation. The cards are telling you to give yourself a break on something here. Gratitude and the truth. Well, you know, we all feel gratitude for things that happens in our life, but if you're being told you should be grateful for everything that you're putting up with, that's a different kind of truth, isn't it? That's, again, is something different there. Let's have a look. Innocence. Now that innocence card there is related to the sun, and the sun is about shining a light on a situation, shining a light on the fact that maybe you are putting on one face to the world here with the comic, putting on one face to the world, but really there's other things going on behind the scenes. The truth may be not being heard here within your world. You may be all smiles to the outside world, but really the truth might not be actually, that might not be the real truth of this situation. Peeling back the layers with the onion, peeling back the layers. That gratitude card is, you know, are you being told you should be grateful for what you have? And, you know, you're putting up with things because you're being told you should be grateful for what you have, if that makes sense. The cards are saying give yourself a break. The truth here, and shining a light on it, may be what you have to do in order to move forward within this situation. It's a general reading, so it'll probably touch people in different ways within their situation, because it is a general reading. You've got that receptivity. Well, that's the Queen of Cups. Now the Queen of Cups can see beyond a situation. The Queen of Cups is also a master of her emotions. So not necessarily a person who would show their emotions, their real emotions, to the outside world. Because the Queen of Cups, the energy of the Queen of Cups, you've mastered your emotions. You've mastered them so much that you don't let people see, maybe, when there's something going on in your world that you don't particularly want people to see about you or about a situation around you. And the cards here, we're talking about onion, peeling back the layers of a situation here, getting to the truth of a situation. This mask, the comic, putting this mask on that everything's wonderful when it may not be so wonderful. I keep looking at that gratitude card and I keep thinking in my head, if you're being told to be grateful for all the little things you have, but the little things you have are not making you happy, then perhaps you should be giving yourself a break on that. Nothingness. Wow. Well, nothingness is the Pope. Nothingness is the Pope in a normal pack. But I just want to look at that word nothingness when I look at that in relation to this reading, because nothingness, when it says gratitude there and that word nothingness, why should you be grateful for things that are not making you happy? I feel as if this pile 2, are putting on some sort of face with the comic that everything is wonderful because they feel they should be grateful for what they have. The truth and the innocence card, the sun, which is about shining the light on the truth here, and the card saying give yourself a break, is saying why should you settle for nothingness? when it comes to that gratitude card, if that's making sense. I hope that's making sense so far. But pile 2, what's generally going on around you, and the purpose of this reading and what you need to hear right now is maybe not to settle for nothingness, because you're supposed to be grateful for everything, every little thing you have. Not to make yourself small, but to let yourself shine with the sun. Give yourself a break. The truth needs to be perhaps come out here. The comedian card, the comic, that's hiding behind a mask. With the comic card, the onion is about peeling back the layers of a situation and changing your reality, changing your way of thinking about things. Instead of having to be grateful for every little thing that's being handed to you or whatever it is in your world, perhaps it's about time you, instead of keeping yourself small, gave yourself a break from a situation here. The truth here is that nothingness card is how you're feeling. You don't feel fulfilled within this situation, whatever the situation is in your world. Well, look at that. You've got the Hierophant twice. Now in this card, the Hierophant says nothingness, and I was talking about how you feel about this idea of gratitude and why should you be grateful for something that is not it's not making you happy. The Hierophant in this pack tells me it's about taking advice from someone around you in order to shine a light with that innocence card, which is the sun. Shine a light on something, getting to the truth of something here and giving yourself a break when it comes to this situation. Temperance, right. Temperance is about putting the balance back within your world. If it's all one-sided, and you're just supposed to feel grateful for that, and it's all one-sided, then the balance is not within this situation that you're in. The truth of the matter here, it needs to be shed a light on what's happening here. It needs to be spoken about. Emotions with that Queen of Cups need to be spoken about without it being too dramatic, because the Queen of Cups is in charge of her emotions, and she can talk quite clearly on a subject without getting over emotional about it, if you know what I mean, because she's actually in control of her emotions. But there is definitely something going on in pile 2 where you need to put balance back within your world, because being grateful for things that are not making you happy and not making you feel as if you want to carry on with this situation is the wrong way of going about things. You shouldn't have to feel gratitude for something that's not making you happy, is what I want to say there. Peel back the layers with the onion. Don't put on this face of the comic as if everything's wonderful. Give yourself a break from that and speak up or speak out over a situation you're not happy with. Right, look at that. You've got the King of Cups and you've got the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups, I said, is about being in control of your emotions and really being able to see beyond a situation. The King of Cups for me is a healing card. It's a card of healing. Now, in order for healing to take place, in order for this feelings of nothingness within this situation, no feelings about it at all here, in order for healing to take place here, you've got to give yourself a break from this idea that you should be grateful no matter what you're being given. You should be grateful for it. Why should you be grateful? Don't keep yourself small. The truth needs to come out with the innocence, which is the sun, which is about bringing things out into the open, and the card of truth. The truth needs to come out. Don't put this face on, the comic, as you putting on this face that everything's wonderful. Peel back the layers of this situation, put it back into balance, and make sure that you are either taking advice from another person or getting all the information you need with the Hierophant in order to help yourself put balance back within this situation. I hope I'm making sense. I'm just going to take one more card, pile 2, just to see if we can get an extra little message here. But pile 2, your general reading today, is about peeling back the layers, I want to say. Peeling back the layers to get to the truth of a situation. Don't put a brave face on something that you're not happy with. Give yourself a break. Get to the truth of it. Talk it out with whatever the situation is, with the person or whoever. You don't get this in your head that you don't have to feel gratitude for something that you're not exactly happy about having, if that makes sense. Let's just see what we've got. Passion. Well, yeah. Bring the passion back within your own mindset. Bring that passion back that you once had. If you're in a situation where it's making you feel like nothing, like you're smaller than you are, it's time to peel back those layers, put the passion back within your world here. Don't put this brave face on it like the comic and everything's wonderful. Give yourself a break from that. Speak out. Speak your truth over a situation. You can do it without too much emotion, because the Queen of Cups here, she has actually got all her emotions under check and she knows exactly what she's talking about. She knows how she's feeling about a situation. You feel deeply that you need to put some sort of balance back within this situation. That card of passion is you putting the balance back within this situation with passion and with an attitude of, why should I feel gratitude for something that I'm not happy with? I hope that makes sense, pile 2. Have a good day. Bye. Hi, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Today's readings are about what you need to hear right now. It's a general purpose reading, just an overview of what's going on with your situation at the moment. Let's just have a look what you've got. Sensitive. Feeling especially strongly or painfully affected by the light or by movements, or just a sensitive person. I'm just going to go with that word sensitive at the moment and see what we get with that. This key that you've picked has got the word love on it, so let's just see what I pick up when we look at that word sensitive. The heart. Oh wow, look at this. You've got the heart, and I've just mentioned that key's got the word love on it. You couldn't write it, could you? Black and white. Okay. Recovery. And look at the recovery card. It's got a key on it. It's got a key on it, and that key that you picked has got love on it, and it's to do with the heart. Getting to the heart of this matter or something like that. It could even be a love a reading, a romantic reading. Let's just have a look. Let's keep going. Travel. So you've got the word travel. You've got the word sensitive, black and white, recovery, and the heart. And you've got the key with love on it, and the key on the recovery there. So that's interesting to begin with, isn't it? Let's just see what we're talking about before I go any further, because it's a general reading, so it could be about partnerships here, or it could be about something else that's going on within your world. Let's have a look. It could be that something is black and white, or it could be that something isn't quite black and white. We don't know until we get the tarot out to see, you know, what's happening next. There's your first card. Let's have a look. I think I want the one on the bottom, and I think that one there. So let's just see what these cards are telling us about this situation. Thunderbolt, right, well that's the Tower. Something has happened suddenly within your world which is making you feel sensitive to whatever it is that's going on around you. It's something that has deeply affected your heart. Something sudden has happened, and you're trying to recover from a situation around you that's a very sensitive situation. It's a painful situation, I feel. This travel card may be the advice might be to go and travel somewhere or do something to take your mind off a situation. That black and white card, we'll see how that fits into the reading, because I'm not sure whether it is black and white or there's a grey area here that we need to discuss. But you've got Thunderbolt, which is a tower. Which is the Tower. It's when something disruptive that suddenly happens within your world. I'm looking at the heart, and I'm looking at the key that says love on it, and I'm looking at sensitive, the word sensitive, and that word recovery. let's just have a look. Creativity, that is the 3. Right. Okay. Creativity, that is the Empress. Now the Empress is about bringing something to fruition, birthing something. It's the mother goddess. It's the Mother Earth within a situation, with any situation. It's things that grow. It's things that come into fruition. She's depicted a lot of the times as being pregnant, and because she gives birth to different things. You've had a sudden shock with the Thunderbolt card, and then following that you've got this Empress, which is about recovering, creativity, giving birth, looking at growing something else out of a situation. Or I could be talking along the lines of someone who's had a setback over something to do with birthing something, and it's something that's affected the heart. It's a very sensitive situation. I'm talking about people in pile 3 now, and there's lots of different situations in everybody's world for pile 3, so there could be different aspects you can take from this, but there's lots of different ways I could read these cards. You're recovering from something though. It's affected your heart chakra. It's affected the strings of your heart. It's made you feel shocked over something here. You're feeling particularly sensitive over something. The recovery card is you trying to recover with your mindset, maybe with over the purpose of this. You're trying to recover something here. There's a purpose within this that you're trying to recover from. And it's getting to the heart of the matter maybe here, or it may be affecting the heart within, the way you feel about something. You're feeling very sensitive about something here. Let's just have a look. Let's just keep going. Inner voice, look at that. Well, you've got the High Priestess, which is your inner voice. The High Priestess and the recovery card is how your mindset has got to solve this problem, or how you've got to get through. How you've got to get through this problem, which has affected your heart. It's made you especially sensitive to something that's going on within your world. Something has happened that's come out of the blue. It's caused you to feel sensitive, and it's got to your heart in some way. So it's a shock. It's been a shock to you, whatever it is. The cards are saying, in this instance, I feel as if I want to say, the cards are saying it's black and white. This has happened. There's nothing else you can say about it. There's no grey area here. It's black and white what has happened within your world. There's a shock that's come out of the blue here with the Thunderbolt. That card centering your reading, which is the Empress, which is about giving birth or growing something. Perhaps it's been stopped. That Thunderbolt has stopped something from growing, stopped something from being birthed, if that makes more sense. Stop something from being birthed. The cards are saying to you, in order to recover from this, which is a heartfelt thing, it's made you very sensitive to it all. It's very strongly affected, is what I want to say. Strongly affected your heartstrings here, whatever it was. The cards are saying, to recover from this situation with the High Priestess and that inner voice, which is connected to your higher mind, and the recovery card, which is connected to the crown chakra, which is your purpose, your wisdom, your consciousness, and the enlightenment on this situation here. It's telling you to travel. And when I say travel, it doesn't necessarily mean a physical thing, to travel, go on holiday or anything, but what it means is to travel your mind away from the plain black and white truth of a situation here, which has happened out of the blue, which has affected you and made you feel painfully affected, strongly affected and sensitive. It's affected your heart. It's an issue of the heart, maybe here. And there's a lot of different ways I can read it, but I've got to say, pile 3, your reading is about something that's really affected you in a quite a big way. So I do feel as if I want to say sorry that you're going through this, but let's just see what the other 3 cards are going to tell me. The cards are up to now telling you it's time to recover from a situation here. You've got to take your mind away from it, either physically with your body, you know, travelling away, or your mindset. Take your mind out of this situation here. Yeah, you've got the Four of Cups now. The Four of Cups is you not seeing anything but this situation at the moment. And of course, whatever it is that's affecting you, it's very, very understandable, because if you get some shock out of the blue here, something you were trying to grow, trying to give birth to, for instance, and you get a shock because it's just suddenly come to a halt, it's stopped. The black and white truth of that is here, that it's going to affect you in a very strong way, isn't it? It's going to affect your heartstrings. It's going to make you feel very sad in a sense here. We've got that word love. So, you know, the situation here could be about a romantic connection. It could be something that you really loved at the time and something suddenly gone with that thunderbolt. That's the black and white truth of this situation there. The cards are saying you need to get, in order to recover this situation, is not to keep thinking about it with that Four of Cups, but to try to travel away from it with your mindset, because you've got the High Priestess, which is your inner voice, your mind. You've got the recovery, which is the highest chakra. It's to do with your mind, and it's saying travel your mind away from it. Don't be just thinking about it all the time and nothing else. There is something to come for you in the future, because you're being offered a cup here. You're not seeing it at the moment, but you're being offered something here, but because you're so focused on what's happened here, you're not really thinking straight at the moment. Wow. Now that couldn't be any clearer. The cards, they shouldn't surprise you, but sometimes they do. The Hangman is you have got to see this from a different point of view. You've got to see it in a different way. You've got to see the whole situation from every aspect of it and put balance back within it by seeing it all the different ways of seeing it. Does that make sense? The Hangman is you seeing it in a different way. The Recovery card and the Travel card is your mind. The inner voice is your mind. You've got to see it differently within your mind in order to recover. You're only seeing the black and white of this situation here. You're only seeing it there as black and white. With that Four of Cups, you are only looking at the black and white aspect of this. What you've got to do is look at it from different angles in order to recover from it, because it has been something that's suddenly come out of the blue. It stopped your creativity in its tracks. It stopped something happening here in its tracks. There was no grey area here. It's black and white. Something stopped here. Something stopped your creativity, or whatever it is in your world. It stopped it in its tracks. Your mindset with the inner voice and that Recovery card. You've got to see this in a different way in order to move forward, in order to travel forward. You're already seeing it like the Four of Cups at the moment, with your head down, only focusing on this one aspect. There is something in the offering here, because if you look up, you'll see there's something here. There's a light at the end of this if you just look up. See it from a different viewpoint with the Hanged Man. Wow. That's a lovely card to have at the end of this, because that card there, that Six of Wands, is a card of victory. It's a card of being seen. It's a card of moving forward. It's a card of getting out of the mindset of the Four of Cups and looking up and seeing more potential along the way after this shock. That's what that card is. The Six of Wands is you looking at something from a different point of view here, looking up and seeing that there is more potential in the future for you and your world. There is more potential to come in the future, but you've got to take your mindset out of just the black and white of the situation right now. That's what you've got to do, pile 3. Let me just see if I can get another card for you. But yes, you've had a sudden shock. Pile 3, what you need to hear right now, you've had a sudden shock. It's just black and white. You've had this sudden shock out of the blue, which has affected your heart. It's been a sudden shock that's made you feel very sensitive or painfully sensitive to a situation. That's the black and white of the situation here. But your mindset and the recovery to this is how you start focusing your mindset on something else, seeing it from a different point of view. At the moment, that Four of Cups is where you are. If you haven't moved on from this, then think about all the different aspects of the situation. When you do move on from this and you think about it differently, then you will find that there's something more to come for you in the future, because you've got that Six of Wands, which is a card of victory. And if you look at that Four of Cups and you look up, you'll see that you're being offered something else. I hope that makes sense. Look at that. You've got psychic abilities. You couldn't get that any clearer. You've got recovery. You've got the High Priestess and psychic abilities. It's all about you with your mindset, traveling your mindset away from this situation. Don't see everything the way you are at the moment, just black and white and nothing else in between. Your psychic abilities, in other words, your mind is strong enough to get through this, and victory will be yours when you can get through those stages of just seeing it as black and white. I hope that helps, Pile 3. Have a good day. Bye.